It is Wednesday. It's the 6th of November. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Our top stories today. First, it may just be 2013, but we could be seeing the stage set for the next U.S. presidential election. The man who's currently a frontrunner for the 2016 Republican presidential nomination has coasted to victory in New Jersey's governor's race. He easily won his bid for his second term as New Jersey's governor. In a hint at Chris Christie's presidential aspirations, he said, "You don't just show up 6 months before an election, you show up 4 years before one." And there was also a landslide victory in New York's mayoral race. Bill de Blasio easily defeated his Republican rival to become the first Democrat to lead the United States' biggest city in a generation. Well, CNN political director Mark Preston joins us now from Washington to make sense of all of this. And Mark, let's start with New York's new mayor. The papers are awash with quotes from the electorate, one going as far as saying, and this is in the New York Times, as saying, "When I look at Mr. de Blasio, I see a bright light at the end of the tunnel." That's a ringing endorsement if I ever heard one.
It certainly is. But you know what's interesting, Monita, is that Bill de Blasio was the first Democrat to lead the city.
Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, well, he's back in the Middle East trying to jumpstart peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians. Today, he's having a working lunch with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. He's also meeting separately with Israeli President Shimon Peres and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. New classified intelligence suggests that Syria could still have a secret cache of chemical weapons it does not plan to turn over to international inspectors. The Syrian regime had agreed to a U.S. and Russian broker deal to disclose and destroy its chemical arsenal to avoid military action. Well, Nick Payton-Walsh joins us now live from Gaziantep, Turkey, with more on that. Nick?
Monita, talking to my colleague Barbara Starr.
Right, Nick, thank you. Nick Payton-Walsh there live for us from Gaziantep in Turkey. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. After months of dodging allegations, Toronto's mayor finally came clean about his use of crack cocaine. But despite the jaw-dropping admission, Mayor Rob Ford refuses to step down, and the city has no easy way of removing him from office. Right now, in fact, he says he will run for re-election next year. Paula Newton joins us live now from Toronto with more on that. Paula?
Monita, not only does he, as he says he's going to run, he has a good chance. We cannot count this man out.
I remember covering municipal politics in Toronto very well, and it was always very interesting. Certainly not as interesting as it is.
This is your hometown, Monita.
That's right. It certainly has not been as interesting as it is today for you, Paula. Thank you very much for that. Paula Newton there live for us from City Hall in Toronto. Let's bring you up to date on some of the other stories we're following here at CNN News Center. Chinese authorities say there has been a deadly bomb attack near a provincial headquarters of the ruling Communist Party. It happened in Taiyuan, the capital of the northern province of Shanxi. An Israeli court has cleared former Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman of corruption charges. Lieberman has been a key ally of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and a hardliner on peace talks with the Palestinians. He resigned as foreign minister last year after being charged with fraud and breach of trust. The trial of a star Russian dancer resumes today. The Bolshoi's artistic director, Sergei Filin, is due to testify against Pavel Dmitrichenko and accused of murdering the British student Meredith Kercher in Italy in 2007, has taken to the stand to defend himself. Rafael Solicito and his former girlfriend, Amanda Knox, are facing a retrial in Italy after being acquitted. The Netherlands is taking legal action against Russia to demand the immediate release of 30 Greenpeace detainees. In September, Russia arrested the men and women on board a ship that was protesting against Arctic drilling. A hearing at an international tribunal begins today in Germany. Yesterday, we brought you the story of a computer-generated girl who's being used to snare child sex predators online. The 10-year-old Filipina Avatar has already helped nab about 1,000 alleged pedophiles. CNN's Becky Anderson shows us how the Sweetie Sting works.
My name is Sweetie.
You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the short break. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. A new report was just released by the World Meteorological Organization about the effects of carbon dioxide on climate change. And our meteorologist, Mari Ramos, is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Mari?
Yeah, this report just released in the last hour or so, Monita, talking about how carbon dioxide and how much carbon dioxide is in...
Mari, thank you very much for that. Now, depending on where you are watching us from, you're either getting ready for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And so here's a story for you. Now, fat and fluffy or thin and flat, so many delicious ways to eat carbs. And you would have thought the humble burger bun was an American favorite, but as Rafael Roma explains, there's a new bread in town.
At a Mexican restaurant near you.
You're watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. I'll update you with news headlines in just a few minutes.